Hi, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to go through an example of how we use trigonometric identities to simplify trig expressions. So in this video, we're doing just a real basic example, and we're just starting to explore this idea. We're not going to do all of the possible identities, we're going to learn more identities later, and we're going to do more of these problems, but I just want us to see a little bit of it because it relates to all 6 trig functions, which we're just learning for the first time. I'm going to put my identities here that have the relationships between the trig functions, and then let's do an example. So what we are going to do is write tangent of theta over secant of theta as a single trig function with no fractions. So we want to use our identities to somehow simplify this. And my suggestion for how to simplify a trig expression is to try to put everything in terms of sine and cosine. I like to think of sine and cosine as our sort of building blocks with all of these trig functions, and then the other functions are related to them. So tangent is sine over cosine, and then the other trig functions like secant and cotangent can then all be related back to sine and cosine too. So let's try this out. I'm going to rewrite tangent of theta as sine of theta over cosine of theta, and then I'm going to rewrite secant of theta as 1 over cosine of theta. So I'm using 2 of my identities from my big list here. Now that we have everything in terms of sine and cosine, we can simplify. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal since I have this complicated fraction here. So instead, I have sine over cosine times cosine over 1. Then my cosine values are going to cancel, and I'm left with sine over 1, which is just sine. So there we go. With just a little manipulation, we are able to say that tangent over secant is equal to sine. So as I mentioned, we could be doing more examples, but I'm just going to leave it simple with this right here. I don't want to show you like every possible one either, because there's a little bit of puzzling here and finding patterns that I want you to have an experience of doing on your own. But this is the basic idea. You're just going to take the trig functions you're given and try to rewrite them in terms of sine and cosine in order to simplify some things. Alright, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.